Welcome back to the Shigeaki Podcast, where growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser, more resilient, and more intentional, one step, one meal, one choice at a time. I'm Dr. Mark Hyman, and today's episode may change the way you think about muscle loss forever. Let me start with a patient I'll never forget. Her name is Susan. She was 68 when we met, retired librarian, lively, articulate, and proud of her health routine. She walked every morning, ate clean, cooked most of her meals, avoided sugar, made sure she got her daily protein eggs, salmon tofu, even cottage cheese in the evening. On paper, she was the ideal senior patient, but when she sat across from me in the clinic, she didn't look confident. She looked quietly frightened. "Mark," she said, "I don't feel steady anymore. I'm not sick, but my legs don't feel like mine. I've fallen twice. I have to hold on to furniture to get up. It's like my strength is evaporating and I don't know why." So, we ran the tests, checked inflammation vitamin levels, thyroid, nerve function. Everything came back fine, except one thing. Her muscle mass had dropped nearly 10% in 2 years, her grip strength was weakening, and her balance had declined to the point where she was classified as fall risk. But here's the twist. She wasn't doing anything wrong, at least not obviously. No junk food, no smoking, no disease, no injury. And yet, her muscles were vanishing. What we discovered shocked even her. Susan was unknowingly living out 7 habits that felt harmless, even healthy, but were silently causing her body to break down its own muscle every single day. Small things like going too long without eating, skipping protein in the morning, sleeping late and waking up groggy, only walking but never training her strength, ignoring key nutrients like magnesium or vitamin C. None of these habits looked dangerous on their own, but together they formed a slow, invisible erosion, and that's what most people don't realize. Muscle doesn't just disappear because you get older, it disappears because your daily choices stop supporting it. Before we dive deeper, I want to bring in someone who's seen this unfold over a lifetime, across thousands of patients, across generations, across cultures. He's not just a doctor, he's a legend. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, neurologist, author, educator, and a national treasure of Japan. He lived past 100 treated patients into his 90s and helped redefine aging not as a decline, but as an opportunity.
Thank you, Mark. It's always a joy to speak to our listeners, and especially to those who still believe that strength doesn't retire with age. You know, in Japan, I often saw 2 people of the same age, 85, sometimes 90, with completely different lives. One could climb stairs, tend to their garden, ride a bicycle. The other could barely rise from a chair. Same genetics, same neighborhood. The difference? It was in the little things they repeated every day. And we must remember, aging does not erase muscle. Neglect does. In our tradition, we believe that strength is not a gift. It is a habit. It is something you feed, something you honor. And if you stop honoring it, it quietly leaves.
Exactly. And that's what this episode is all about. If you're listening and wondering why your legs feel slower, why your balance isn't what it used to be, this is not just age catching up with you. It may be habits, daily ones, that are gently robbing you of strength. Today we're going to uncover 7 silent habits that cause muscle loss after 60. And more importantly, we'll show you how to reverse them with food movement and gentle changes that work. You'll learn why breakfast matters more than ever, why walking is good but not enough, why meal timing, collagen, sleep, and micronutrients play a bigger role than you think, and how to rebuild your muscles without going to the gym or buying expensive powders. We'll give you science, yes, but also tradition from both East and West. Simple meals, gentle practices, daily rhythms that strengthen you, not wear you down. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an episode that could change how you age. Let's start with the first habit, one that seems innocent, even common: skipping protein at breakfast. Now I get it. Mornings are busy. Appetite is low. Some people just grab toast, a banana, maybe some tea or coffee, and move on with their day. Others skip breakfast entirely, thinking they're intermittent fasting or giving the body a break. But here's the problem. After age 60, your body doesn't get stronger by fasting, it gets weaker. You wake up after 8 to 10 hours without food. Your muscles are in a catabolic state, meaning they're already breaking down to release amino acids into the bloodstream. If you don't feed them, that breakdown accelerates. In fact, studies show that the first meal of the day is the most important for muscle maintenance in older adults. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed at least 30 grams of protein at breakfast maintained 20% more muscle mass over 3 years compared to those who consumed less than 15 grams. So while toast fruit or cereal may feel light and healthy, they don't send the message your body needs: repair, maintain, rebuild, and that's where the real trouble begins.
Mark, in Japan, we have a saying, "The muscle wakes with the sun," but it only grows if fed. Many older patients tell me, "But doctor, I'm not hungry in the morning." And I say, "Your hunger may be asleep, but your muscles are awake and waiting." In traditional Japanese medicine, we often serve miso soup with tofu or a soft-boiled egg with steamed greens as the morning meal for elders. Not only are these warm and easy to digest, they contain the essential proteins needed to start the day with strength.
Exactly. The key here is leucine, the amino acid most responsible for triggering muscle protein synthesis. And guess what? One egg only contains about 0.5 grams of leucine. But to stimulate muscle repair in older adults, you typically need 2.5 to 3 grams per meal, which means you need more than just an egg. Here's what I recommend for breakfast, and it's simple, quick and powerful: savory chickpea and veggie. Scramble a half cup, cooked chickpeas, lightly mashed. One whole egg, plus 1 egg white, a quarter cup chopped zucchini, 2 TBSP diced tomato, 1 TSP olive oil for sautéing, a pinch of turmeric and black pepper. Why it works: 28G protein with fiber, anti-inflammatory spices, and plant diversity. Gentle on digestion and quick to make.
For plant-based eaters, try this protein-rich vegan. Start a half-block grilled tofu or tempeh, 1 cup miso soup with wakame and mushrooms, 1 slice of whole grain toast with almond butter, green tea, or warm barley tea. Total protein 28-30 grams. Includes fermented foods, fiber, and complete amino acids. These are not just meals, they are messages to the body. Messages that say, you are being taken care of. You are safe to repair. That's how we prevent frailty, not with pills, but with intention.
So now we come to habit number 2. And I want to say this gently because I know it applies to so many people I meet. Just walking is not enough. Don't get me wrong, walking is fantastic. It improves circulation, supports heart health, and boosts mood. But when it comes to preserving muscle after 60, especially the type 2 fibers that protect your balance and reflexes, walking alone won't cut it. Here's the truth. Your muscles respond to challenge. They grow when pushed just a little. And if you never push even gently, they quietly fade away. A large study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity 2020 found that older adults who only walked lost twice as much muscle mass over 5 years compared to those who combined walking with light resistance exercises.
That is very true, Mark. In Japan, many older adults walk but still become frail. Why? Because walking keeps the blood moving but not the strength growing. I remember one patient, Mr. Tanaka, 74. He walked every morning to the local shrine. A full hour, rain or shine. But he still came to my clinic complaining of weak knees, trouble standing up, and back pain. When we tested him, we found his grip strength had dropped, and his quadriceps were thinning. It wasn't because he was inactive, it was because he never trained his muscles to resist.
Exactly. After 60, your body becomes anabolically resistant, meaning it needs more stimulus to hold on to the muscle it already has. Cardio isn't enough. You need what we call mechanical load, even in small doses. But that doesn't mean heavy weights or gym memberships. Let me be clear, resistance training can be as simple as body weight squats while holding a chair, light push-ups against a wall, a resistance band pulled gently for 10 to 15 reps, or even standing on your toes repeatedly to build calf strength.
In Japan, we have a national routine called Radio Taiso Gentle Calisthenics, broadcast on the radio since the 1920s. Millions of people from school children to centenarians follow this every morning. It takes less than 5 minutes, involves no equipment, and uses body weight to stretch, twist, and strengthen. And yet, it is one of the most protective habits we have for preventing frailty.
I love that. Simple, consistent movement that wakes up the muscles. For those listening at home, here's a basic resistance mini circuit you can do in your living room, no equipment needed. Chair squats, 10 reps, wall push-ups, 10 reps, seated knee extensions, 10 reps per leg, calf raises, 15 reps, standing arm circles, 20 seconds forward, 20 seconds backward. Rest as needed. Do just one round at first. Build up slowly.
So if you're over 60 and walking daily, great. But if that's all you're doing, it's time to add just a little resistance. Your muscles are waiting.
Now, let's talk about a habit that hides in plain sight, and it affects even the most health-conscious seniors I see. Going too long between meals. It sounds harmless, right? Some skip lunch, others delay dinner, some eat a big breakfast, then nothing until evening. And many believe they are doing their metabolism a favor. But here's the truth. After 60 long fasting gaps can quietly accelerate muscle breakdown, especially if your meals are low in protein or unbalanced. Let me explain why. Your muscles are constantly in a tug of war between breakdown and repair. They need a steady supply of amino acids not just once or twice a day, but regularly to stay in maintenance mode. When you go 6, 7, or even 8 hours without eating, and your body isn't getting fuel, it begins breaking down muscle tissue for energy and amino acids. And the older you are, the less efficient your body becomes at rebuilding what it loses. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 65 who spread their protein intake evenly across 3 to 4 meals retained 25% more lean muscle mass than those who ate the same total protein but packed it all into dinner.
That matches what we observe in Japan, too. Older patients who wait all day to eat, they often arrive in my clinic with signs of weakness, low energy, or dizziness. They tell me, "But doctor, I only eat once or twice a day. I thought that was healthy." And I say, it might be for someone younger, but your muscles need rhythm, not scarcity. In traditional Japanese homes, we often follow a sanji pattern, 3 main meals and a light tea snack around 3 p.m. Not heavy, just enough to say to the body, here is your fuel. Keep going, keep building.
That's a beautiful tradition and a smart one. Let's be practical for a moment. If you're someone who eats breakfast at 7 a.m., skips lunch, then has dinner at 7 p.m., you're going 12 hours with almost no nourishment. That's 12 hours where your body has no building blocks for repair. And that's when the body shifts into muscle breakdown mode.
Exactly. And over time, that habit done daily can cause 3 to 5% muscle loss per year, even in active seniors. But here's the good news. The solution is simple. Don't eat more. Eat more often and with intention. Ideally, you want to aim for 3 protein-rich meals, spaced 4 or 5 hours apart, and 1 light snack in between, especially if you're active or feeling weak. Here's a simple schedule to try. Balanced meal rhythm for muscle preservation. 7:30 a.m. breakfast. 2 eggs, cottage cheese, sautéed greens. 12:30 p.m. lunch. Grilled tofu, quinoa, steamed broccoli. 4 p.m. snack. Handful of almonds plus plain yogurt. 7:30 p.m. dinner. Salmon miso soup with wakame cooked daikon. Each meal delivers 25-30 grams of protein plus fiber minerals and healthy fat. And don't forget, the goal isn't to feel full all day. It's to send your body little reminders throughout the day that say, you are not starving, you are supported, you can rebuild. That's how we age, with strength.
So the next time you think about skipping lunch, ask yourself, am I saving time or am I losing muscle? Because in this stage of life, consistency wins. And small snacks taken seriously can protect your legs, your balance, and your independence. We've talked about food, about movement, about timing. But now let's talk about something even more fundamental. Something that can undo all the good you're trying to do. Sleep. Because here's the truth. You can eat right, exercise, even take your supplements. But if you're not sleeping well, your muscles won't grow. They won't even stay. And I've seen this with my own patients. They come in frustrated. I eat my protein. I walk. I even started light resistance training, but I still feel tired, heavy, and sore. So we dig deeper, and guess what? They're going to bed at midnight, waking multiple times, sleeping only 5 or 6 hours. And that my friend is a recipe for silent muscle loss. A landmark study published in Frontiers in Physiology 2018 found that sleep deprivation in older adults significantly increases muscle catabolism, meaning the body breaks down muscle at night to compensate for stress and lack of repair signals. Why? Because deep sleep is when the body produces its highest levels of growth, the hormone that triggers tissue repair, including muscle and bone. If you miss that window, you miss the signal. And without the signal, even the best meals can't fully repair you.
That's absolutely true, Mark. In Japan, we have a proverb, "Sleep is the blacksmith of the body. It forges strength while the world is quiet." I always asked my elderly patients about their nights. Were they restless? Did they wake to urinate? Did they feel alert when they opened their eyes? Often their answers revealed what their muscles could not explain. And here's the deeper layer. Poor sleep raises cortisol, the stress hormone. And elevated cortisol, especially at night, triggers muscle wasting and fat retention, particularly around the belly and thighs.
Exactly. So it's not just about quantity, but quality. Let me share a typical sleep sabotage scenario. A senior eats a late carb-heavy dinner, drinks tea or wine afterward, watches TV in bright light until 11 p.m., tosses in bed, wakes at 3 a.m. wide-eyed and hungry, and they wonder why their muscles ache in the morning. The fix. It's simpler than you think. Here's what I recommend for better muscle-friendly sleep. Finish dinner by 7 p.m. and keep it balanced. Protein greens and a small serving of complex carbs, sweet potato or brown rice. This stabilizes blood sugar overnight. Avoid caffeine or alcohol after 2 p.m. Both disrupt sleep cycles and increase nighttime cortisol. Create a bedtime wind down. Dim lights after 9 p.m. Turn off screens. 30 minutes before bed, stretch gently or try 4-7-8. Breathing, inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Sleep-soothing pumpkin seed. Oat bowl, a quarter cup, cooked oats. 1 TSP ground flaxseed, 1 TBSP pumpkin seeds. Warm almond milk, just enough to moisten. A dash of nutmeg or powdered chamomile, why it works. Magnesium, tryptophan, healthy fats to calm the nervous system and protect muscle during overnight fasting.
In Japan, we often serve Mujika roasted barley tea in the evening. It's non-caffeinated soothing and aids digestion. And when the mind is calm, the body listens. Only then does healing begin.
So far, we've talked about protein resistance training timing and sleep. But there's another mistake I see far too often, even among people who eat enough protein. They ignore the small nutrients that make all the difference: collagen, vitamin C, magnesium, zinc, iron. You see, building and maintaining muscle is not just about protein. It's about what helps your body absorb, activate, and integrate that protein. And that's where micronutrients and collagen come in. Let's start with collagen. Collagen isn't just for skin or joints. It's the scaffolding of your muscles. It surrounds muscle fibers, connects them to bone, and protects tendons and ligaments. But here's the challenge. After 60, your natural collagen production declines by up to 1.5% per year. And most people do nothing to support it. Even worse, they eat diets that are high in processed foods, but low in the very nutrients collagen needs to form, like vitamin C, glycine, proline, and copper.
That is a quiet danger in modern diets. In Japan, we think of meals not just as protein or calories, but as combinations that help one another. For example, spinach gives you magnesium, miso provides fermentation and minerals, daikon helps digestion, seaweed offers iodine and collagen precursors. Together, they form what we call a collagen-harmonizing meal.
Exactly, and the science backs this up. A 2022 study published in Nutrients showed that seniors with low vitamin C and magnesium intake had weaker grip strength, slower walking speed, and greater muscle fatigue even when their protein intake was adequate. Why? because collagen synthesis depends on vitamin C and magnesium. Without them, your body can't complete the collagen building process no matter how much protein you eat. Now, you can take powders and pills, but honestly, food is the better place to start. Here's one of my favorite practical recipes that combines collagen-friendly foods. Okinawan collagen bowl for lunch or light dinner, 1 cup. Steamed spinach rich in magnesium, plus nitrates a half block soft. Tofu, complete protein, plus calcium, 1 TBSP miso. Paste diluted in warm water, fermented, plus zinc, 1 TSP sesame oil, healthy fat for absorption. A quarter avocado adds potassium, plus vitamin E, 1 TBSP grated daikon aids digestion. Optional sprinkle of bonito flakes or seaweed. This meal gives your body collagen cofactors, plant-based protein antioxidants, and healthy fat, all in under 15 minutes.
We often serve a meal like this in convalescent hospitals, especially for older patients recovering from surgery or weakness, because it is easy to chew, gentle on the stomach, and powerful in how it supports connective tissue. And for those who prefer warmer meals, we prepare miso daikon soup, like this: miso daikon collagen soup, 1 cup chopped daikon radish, a half block tofu, 1 TSP miso paste, 1 TBSP dried wakame seaweed, optional grilled salmon flakes or sardines. Simmer together for 10-15 minutes. Provides collagen support, omega-3s, probiotics, and warmth.
Let's take a breath and let it all sink in. Today we uncovered 7 quiet habits ones that many seniors repeat daily without realizing their cost. Skipping protein in the morning, not training resistance, letting too many hours pass between meals, sleeping poorly, neglecting micronutrients. And each of those choices, though, small chips away at your strength. But here's the good news. Muscle isn't just lost. It can be rebuilt. Not through extremes, not through fear, but through gentle, consistent care. So, if you're listening to this right now and thinking, it's too late for me, let me be clear, it's never too late to begin again. Your muscles are still listening, and they respond 1 meal, 1 squat, 1 restful night at a time.
At over 100 years old, I still move each day. Not to look young, not to impress others, but to remind my body, you still have purpose. I have seen patients in their 80s, frail and tired, who changed one habit, and within months they were standing taller, walking farther, even smiling more. Because strength is not just in the body, it is in the decision to care for yourself.
So, if this episode gave you even one idea, one spark, one aha moment, we ask you to do 3 things. Subscribe so you never miss another episode. Comment below. What habit do you want to change? Starting today. Share this podcast with someone over 60, a parent, a friend, a neighbor. Because when we grow stronger together, we don't just age, we thrive.